Hello, everybody. I'm Scott Prime with Task Force Geek. This is Prime Reviews. You probably watch us every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Central Time, but today I thought I'd do something a little different and maybe start off a new series of just wacky reviews of like all the things we love here on Task Force Geek, like maybe comics, maybe sometimes toys, occasional board game, probably mostly comics. Today, I picked a kind of a strange one. Growing up when I did, I was a child that played with a lot of Transformer toys. And if you were a boy who had a sister and you grew up in the same time, she probably played with a lot of My Little Pony little dolls and figures and horses and stuff like that. So today I'm going to talk to you with my first review in Prime Reviews, My Little Pony, or I guess I should say Transformers, My Little Pony, Friendship in Disguise. Now you're thinking, this seems really stupid. And yeah, it kind of is, right? It's number one. It's from IDW Comics. It has a price tag of $3.99. There's the cover right there. That's the cover I purchased. The story is kind of crazy. It really, it opens up and it really feels like it's in this IDW universe of My Little Pony that's in the comics and from the cartoon that my children watch. And the art style is the same kind of way. It opens up with the very opening page. It has one pony even complaining about how these crossovers are just so stupid sometimes. And I got to admit, this one is really silly. And that's probably the only reason I bought this thing. I was like, how crazy and stupid can this be? So it caught me at one of those moments where normally like weeks ago, there was a Transformers Terminator comic where I was like, I don't want to deal with that. To the moment where I'm like, this is so silly, I got to try this comic. So I picked it up. I've read the opening story. There's two stories in there. The first story, I believe, is done by a gentleman written. We'll put the credits right down here. Who writes the story, who does the art. There you go. I don't want to mess up anybody's names. The first story takes place in the My Little Pony world. There's like a Queen's Chrysalis, I believe is her name. She's some shape-shifting lady from the evil shapeshifters in the My Little Pony world, and she's opening up a portal to another dimension to get some people that could help her out to take over the My Little Pony world. And at the same time, in another dimension on Cybertron, Shockwave is using a portal gate to try to not only just to move them around the Transformer universe, but he tells Megatron this one could go into an actual different dimension. And of course, when both people use their crazy magic and technology, you get the Transformers being swept up, of course, Autobots and Decepticons, and they go into the My Little Pony universe. It's a very simple story. In the first story, you have the ponies all freak out when they see these weird robot creatures coming in, but they notice that the Autobots are all kind to each other, and so they quickly make friends with them, while this Queen Chrysalis, she meets up with Megatron and is like, hey, how can you help me? I see that we're both, shape-shifting beings. So that's the first story, because all the Transformers come out of this portal and pour out all across the universe. In the second story, I'll get the credits here in a second. This one's called Shine Like a Diamond. It just opens up with Starscream already taking over the ponies, which I'm a big Starscream fan. In the old cartoon from the 80s, it's probably the voice actor who did this for me as a little boy. He did the same voice for Cobra Commander, the G.I. Joe cartoon. So I've always been in love with Starscream and how he always wanted to take over Megatron and be the real leader of the Decepticons. And you kind of get a throwback from Transformers the movie and that scene that was just posted up there with him with a crown, wanting to be the king of the Decepticons so bad. It has Starscream taking over this area, and then the Transformer RC, of course, runs into him and kind of saves the day and frees up the My Little Pony city, I guess, where Rarity is hanging out. I'm not too familiar with too many of the ponies, even though my daughters used to watch the show and occasionally read the comics. It ends. They save the day. Of course, the bad guys say, hey, we'll be back. And that's how it ends. The story is really simple. This is really pointed towards kids and probably little boys with the next generation of Transformers. I can see this comic, like maybe parents like me bought it for nostalgia reasons. Is it great? No. Is it bad? No, because you kind of know what you're getting here. Will I buy issue 2? Maybe. It's probably going to be one of those deals where, like, if it's a low comic week and there's not many books in and it's sitting on the shelf, I'll take a gander at it and grab it, especially if it has a nice cover. It was fun. It was, like I said no weeks ago to the Transformers Terminator thing. I'm saying yes to the Transformers My Little Pony robot friendship in disguise. Probably a big key factor here is, now that my girls are a little bit older, ages 13 and 10, the 10-year-old still kind of has some interest in reading this. And if she likes it, I'll probably continue to buy it. But otherwise, you'll know in a future review. The book supports many different covers. So if you're one of those you're a brony or a Transformer guy and you want to collect all the covers, there's some different covers here. There's even more featured than what our graphics are showing here on the Task Force Geek channel. So if you're a fan of either property and you want just something kind of fun and silly and to take your mind off and have an easy read, this book might be for you. Thanks for joining Prime Reviews.